Now for our featured story of the day, Trump to sign executive orders tonight about the strategic Bitcoin reserve and 0% capital gains tax on crypto. Currently, this is a rumor because it hasn't happened yet, but a lot of speculation in the market of what's going down tomorrow at the Crypto White House Summit. So this is something Crypto Rover posted. Obviously massive, if true. Headline here reads, Trump's crypto reserve likely to be mostly Bitcoin and bigger than expected. So let's break this baby down. Despite including several large market cap alts, U.S. President Trump, our POTUS, planned crypto reserve will eventually be made up of mostly entirely of Bitcoin, according to the Bitwise Chief Investment Officer, Matt Hougan. That's right. Market participants have soured on the announcement because of the proposed reserve holds more than Bitcoin. Hougan explained in a March 5th market note, the inclusion of small cap assets in the announcement unnecessarily complicated matters. So March 2nd, as you know, Trump initially said the stash would include Solana, XRP, and Cardano, later adding that Bitcoin and Ether would be at the heart of the reserve. And as you know, the alts went ripping shortly after. Even Bitcoin, it went up a god candle, roughly 10% on the day. And Cardano went up like 60%. XRP went up 35%. It was very bullish. And then the following day, everything corrected right back down. But quoting him here, after the dust settles, I suspect the final reserve will be nearly entirely Bitcoin, and it'll be larger than people think, which leads me to believe that Michael Saylor's proposal to Trump, and as you know, Saylor and the Trump family have been friends for decades, according to Saylor. And Saylor is proposing Trump to purchase 4.2 million Bitcoin for the strategic Bitcoin reserve, which ultimately means 20% of the Bitcoin circulating supply. Cynthia Lummis, in her proposal for her bill or order, which she proposed at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, said only 1 million Bitcoin. So it'd be a significant difference if Trump actually upped it. So it leads me to believe when they say it will be larger than people think, that Trump may take the more pro Bitcoin stance and go a lot higher than just 1 million, which would be 5% of the circulating supply. Maybe they go somewhere in the middle, or maybe they go straight up, all in. We'll soon find out. Bitcoin's price initially jumped on the news of its inclusion in the slated reserve, but later sunk below 83 and has only recovered above 90 over the last day, in part due to the Trump delay auto part tariffs of Canada and Mexico. Trump's move away from the Bitcoin-only reserve has concerns from crypto commentators who said Bitcoin is the only crypto suited for inclusion in the reserve, with even the Coinbase CEO who owns the shitcoin casino, the largest one in the United States, Mr. Armstrong, said, arguing it's a successor to gold. The inclusion of the speculative asset like Cardano feels more calculating than strategic, according to Hougan. He added that despite the flawed rollout, he thinks the market is misreading things. Here's what he said. In the end, this is bullish. Let me know if you agree. Hougan said that, as is the case with tariffs, Trump's initial proposals are rarely his final and input on the reserve from industry bigwigs at the upcoming White House Crypto Summit. I even heard CZ was invited. That was breaking news here today. And we'll see. I'm sending the Nippinator there to regulate. We need regulators, real regulators, unlike Gary Gensler. But anyways, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick hinted that Bitcoin could receive a special status in the reserve, and other crypto tokens, I think, will be treated differently. He just came out and announced this the other day, and he's the secretary over there. He has a position, Secretary of Commerce, so he knows a thing about a thing or two, clearly, and he's a big Bitcoin advocate, a multi-billionaire, CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, and also he claims he has hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. He shared that in a recent interview I watched with Pompliano, when he straight asked him, how much Bitcoin do you have? He said hundreds of millions of dollars, and he ain't bullish enough. Hougan said there's a small, more unlikely possibility that a pushback on the idea will see the reserve scrapped or limited to assets the government has already seized. If the U.S. makes a crypto reserve, it'll be more likely that other countries will look at wanting their own slice of Bitcoin. Quoting Bitwise here, assuming some version of the U.S. reserve comes through, it's hard to imagine that other national dominoes will not fall. If you are Honduras, Mexico, Guatemala, and you're watching El Salvador or the U.S. acquire Bitcoin, can you really afford to be at zero? And here's a great example of the game theory, the global hash war, which Max Kaiser coined many years ago. It is also unlikely the U.S. will sell any crypto if it buys, even if a Democrat takes Trump's place after he's gone, according to Hugin. Any crypto will be held for a very long time, like the country's gold reserves. Democratic leaders won't want to alienate voters at little benefit to themselves. There are a significant number of people who love crypto and a relatively small number who hate it. We learned that this in the last edition, where the GOP's courtship of crypto gained it many votes, while Democratic hostility gained a few. And I'll dare say, if you're against Bitcoin, it's because you're an enemy of mankind, or you just don't get it. Let me know if you agree. Hugin said that the market initial bullishness strikes me as the right one. I think the market will eventually realize that. So those are the two big things. Will we see a big announcement regarding zero capital gains tax on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies created in the United States? Yay or nay? And if that's a yes, how do you think that will impact the Bitcoin price and the crypto market? And the second question, will they announce a separate Bitcoin strategic reserve only for Bitcoin, and maybe theoretically put the other alts, which were recently suggested by Trump, in like a sovereign wealth fund or something equivalent to that? You guys let me know your thoughts. I'll read your comments out loud. Welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream.